You're listening to the Abolitionists Roundtable, patriotic Black American conservative all-access radio, with your hosts, Del, Phil, and Janice. They're leading the charge in advancing the conservative revolution. Join the conversation at 734-822-1600.
All right, welcome back to All Access Radio, to the Conservative Revolution. This is a matter of fact here. I'm gonna read something to you real quick while we're waiting on our guests. I'm a quote from this book I read years ago, and I mean it. You know, the first part of the year. I mean, it was something that in this book it says. This is written by somebody that I always admired. Was killed in a plane crash a few years ago. Miles Monroe, Dr. Miles Monroe, Rediscovering the Kingdom, Ancient Hope for a 21st Century World. And this is in line with this revolution that I have in mind. This is not a violent revolution at all. Now, on the other side, liberals, progressives, they want to use violence. And matter of fact, all the violence in the street right now is because of them. And so this is how they create their laws around that violence. So the more violence, the more agitated they can get their citizens with the police, the more they can craft these crafty laws, the more that they can have you hate men and women that are that want to walk not according to their own natural gender. The more they can create crafty laws. And we know that in the Bible it was three Hebrew boys, Meshach, and one of the things that they did, they said that he said that if they didn't bow to the king, that they were going to be thrown in this fiery furnace. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, and it said that one of the king men, his security men, turned that fire up 10 times hotter than it was, and his beard was burned. And I want to tell you right now that the liberals are this year in 2016, they're going to turn that heat up on us 10 times warmer than it was, 10 times hotter than it was. So you need to have a foundation, folks. We all need to have a foundation because we're in a fight for our lives. We're in a fight for this great republic. We're in a fight for liberty. We're in a fight for our children and grandchildren. We're in a fight like no other fight before. And so I'm not going to have time to go into it. Maybe at the end of the show, I'll read a little bit about this military takeover that's in process right now. And this is a military takeover that's not requiring any guns at all. It's a heavenly takeover. And so this fight that we fight, this is a spiritual battle. Matter of fact, in the book of Mark, Jesus just finished a faith conference, and he said, let's go to the other side. And there was a great storm, and the boat was filled, and he was in the back of the boat asleep. And so the disciples came and woke him up and say, don't you care? We in a storm. We gonna die. And he asked them something. He said, where was your faith? Folks, this fight that we're fighting, we're going to need faith, and not Allah, but we're going to need faith in the true and living God, the God that sent us his son Jesus Christ. But it was not just that storm that they were in. On the other side, when they said, let's go to the other side, there was a man over there that was cutting and mashing his teeth, that was cutting himself with rocks, that they said, the Bible said, that had a dumb spirit. Well, I want to say that there's some, and that he was filled with these demons. Well, there's some people right now, in this progressive movement, folks, that's on the other side right now. They're on the other side, and they think that they can control us. and they got a dumb spirit. And so you need to speak to those folks with that dumb spirit and cast those demons out. Well, I want to say good morning to our friend. Good morning, Professor Ellis Washington.
Hey, Dale. Happy New Year to you, my friend, and to your wonderful
Happy New Year to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, hey, Phil. How you doing, my friend?
Great.
And
morning,
Janice is here, too.
Oh, and Janice got the whole gang there.
Got the whole gang
Three
here.
amigos.
Yeah.
God bless you all.
Yes, Phil. Matter of fact, Ellis, I just want to mention to all our listeners that they can go to your website at elliswashingtonreport.com. That you've been writing for the last 10 years about this progressive revolution that's been going on. You already had 2 books out. Now you have volume 3 and 4 out about this progressive revolution that we're in. And so what we decided for 2016, that we needed a counter-revolution, a conservative revolution. See, Reagan had one. That was 40 years ago, back in the 80s. So we need 35 years ago. We need something again. Today we need it because we see that there's some people that did you know that Republicans want historic seats, over 1,000 seats. They want all these governorships, and they still do not know who they are. They still don't know how to walk in that authority that the people have given them. This imam still think that because he won in 2008 and 2012 that everything that he say is the right way.
Dale, you're absolutely on point, my friend. One of the things I've been thinking about for over 30 years, and I go back to Reagan's last term in office. I was a senior in college when I made the switch from being a Democrat, which I followed just not for ideological reasons, but traditional reasons from my family. I didn't know any better, but once I started reading for myself back in December, Christmas of 1982, I turned to conservatism, and I haven't looked back since. It's just been truly wonderful. One of the things I realized, Dale, studying political philosophy and law and history for about 35 years now, is that the establishment, the political establishment, Rhino Republicans, the Harry Reids, the John Boehners and the McConnells and those guys, Ryan, the establishment guys, they really didn't serve Reagan. They didn't really believe in Reagan. If you look at who Reagan even ran against back in 1980, it was a lot of the establishment old dinosaurs, Doles and George H.W. Bush. These are people that hated Reagan, and they just went along with the revolution because it was something like what Trump is doing. It was this unstoppable tsunami that if they didn't go with, they would have been drowned. But they were counting the days for Reagan to get out of office. As soon as Bush got the reins of power, he started systematically undoing Reagan and even his son. And the irony is that because we had Newt Gingrich as a counterweight in his revolution against Clinton actually upheld more of the Reagan conservative principles than both of the Bushes.
Yes. And that's what led to that time of just enormous prosperity. Absolutely. We do want to give Newt Gingrich credit for that. But right now, Ellis, this is something that we're looking at. This is the from Congress.gov, Resolution 569. Can you explain to our listeners what this means and how concerned should we be about this particular bill?
Yes, I have it up here, and I hadn't heard about it. I'll tell you, man, quite honestly, I don't really hardly follow local politics because it's just so pathetic and antic. But anyway, I have to do it. I'm going to break my rule, and I'm looking at this resolution. It says, House Resolution 569, they have the first sentence is condemning violence, bigotry, and hateful rhetoric towards Muslims in the United States. Now, let me just stop there.
Yes.
Because what happens with good, well-meaning, God-American, loving conservatives, like many in your audience, is that we take the crazy antics of the left at face value. If you do that, you already lost the argument. You have to challenge their assumptions first. Where is the evidence of a widespread violence, bigotry, and hateful rhetoric towards Muslims. There is none in America.
That's
Christians
right.
are taught to love thy neighbor and to love all religious faiths. But the thing with the Muslim faith, it's not really even a faith. It's most of it is a genocidal cult.
Yes.
Hell bent on destroying Jews, Christians, and wiping them off the face of the earth. Right now in the Middle East, churches that go back to the time of the disciples of Christ, almost 2,000 years, are being wiped off the face of the earth. And it's not Christians doing it. It's genocidal Islam that's doing that. And so this revolution, I'm attacking it as it's unnecessary and as being just trying to stir up division, because that's how the left likes to do. So scrolling down a little bit now, and they have all of the co-sponsors, and no doubt I'm sure some Republicans in there, which is just crazy. It says, whereas the victims of anti-Muslim hate crime and rhetoric have faced physical, verbal, emotional abuse because they were Muslims or believed to be Muslims. Now, let's stop there.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you can find, even after 9/11, there was a couple of Sikhs that, those guys that wear those turbans,
Yes.
that were attacked because some crazy people angry at the planes crashing into the Twin Towers in New York thought they were Muslims. So I'm not going to say that there's never any, Muslim violence against Muslims, but it's so minuscule. And if you want to see it how it is on the other side, just have your listeners go to Wikipedia. I just did this in preparation just to see what was there. And if you go to Wikipedia and just type in a list of Islamist terrorist attacks, it is so long, it's literally in the hundreds and hundreds.
Yes.
Terrorist attacks.
And that's probably just last year.
Right.
And that's
what I'm saying. And they didn't even put in the stabbings in Israel. That's too numerous because it's just happening by 100.
But most of that is retaliation of something that somebody said.
Right.
From people exercising their free speech. Mm-hmm. And here, what do they do? Like Charlie Hebdo.